Shane. Help me find Carl. What? Okay people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Today I'm taking a look at the Mezco 1/12 Collective Netflix Punisher. I know, I don't do enough Mezco stuff. I get a lot of Mezco stuff, but for some reason it slips through the cracks. I'm not sure why. Maybe because it's less frequent than some of the other lines I collect, of course. I've gotten a lot more Mezco than Star Wars this summer, but I knew getting this Punisher in the mail meant I needed to get it open because it's Punisher, and opening this Punisher, or thinking about opening this Punisher, made me go ahead and open two more. But when we get to the comparisons, we'll talk about that. Looking at the package, at least the outer slipcover, there's the Punisher skull. What more do you need? As seen on Netflix. On the side, the logo for the show. On the back, the solicitation pictures, what all it comes with, some warnings, small parts, don't put them in your mouth. Second verse, same as the first. On the top, a very sleek 1/12 Collective logo in gloss black on a matte black background. That's hard to say real fast. On the bottom, that same glossiness applied to the warnings, the ages 18 and up, not a toy for children. Oops, can you see that? There it is. Not a toy for children. Taking the slip cover off, which once you pull this thing, you're never getting this clear film back in ever again. You see the window, you see the figure. Whoa, they got all the accessories showing right here. On the side, we get that glossiness on matte again. On the back, big old Mezco logo. Side, same. Top, same. Bottom, oh, because we already looked at that through the slipcover. I'm an idiot. But let's get this open and see what's going on with our boy Frank. Getting apart, it's usually double layered down here. Oh, they got a jacket hiding. Usually get a baggie to store all the accessories. I love these things. I got them filed away with all the rest of my Mezco accessories. The arm for the stand. And then on the top layer is the figure itself. But getting the figure out of the way, we end up with this stand. Punisher logo, there is a foot peg stuck in there right there, but I never use the foot peg. I use the flat stand. Push it out, turn it around, and what you end up with, and this is the only time I'm gonna look at this stand, because I don't usually use them with standing figures. I usually come back and use them for flight. But best stands in the business. Mezco, you got it going on. Nice tightness to all the joints in this. It holds up heavy figures. It's got nice height to it. And that's all I got to say about that. and it's times like this, once I get a Mezco open, that I think, why don't I open more of these? They are amazing, especially those that have like real people clothes on. Don't get me wrong, I do like the ones with the spandex or the costumes. But when it comes to real life clothing like baggy pants or a skin tight shirt, body armor of some kind, that's where Mezco shines, I think. I mean, those are my favorite ones. It's like little people in real clothing. First of all, this long sleeve shirt under the vest is amazing. It barely holds back any of the movement. Some of the older Mezcos, you get to about right here and it starts to stretch. This one, you go on past. I don't want to, well, I can go all the way around. Holy shit. The material used here doesn't look out of place on a 6-inch figure. A lot of the time, it uses a bigger thread count or it looks out of place. This, ooh, that looks perfect. The only thing that sticks out at me is there is no like cuff to the shirt, and I've had a little bit of fraying over here on the left side. Get to the pants, it's more the same. It feels very natural. It doesn't get in the way of movement. You can go both directions. You can go forward, you can go back, you can go out. But that's one of the pluses of baggy pants. They're not going to get in the way. I have noticed as I bend the knee, it's a little bit low, or this knee pad that's sewn into the pants is too high. Well, I don't know. If I pull him down, I can get the knee pads over the knee, but then he's got kind of a low crotch going on. Yeah, something to play with as I go. And then, like I keep harping on about, it's been a little while since I've messed with Mezcos, but they've improved the ankles a lot. I hear a lot of people complaining about the single elbows, and I do have to agree. I wish I had more movement. I'm always down for hands touching shoulders, or at least getting past 90. But Mezco might have thought ahead here, because if he had come with a rifle, I would have been more disappointed because he wouldn't have been able to put it against his shoulder. But he doesn't come with a rifle. He comes with a weapon that he holds down at his hips, or he comes with two pistols that don't get close to his face. Oh, Mezco. But then we get to the sculpted parts. I already talked about the boots. Those are nicely done. On the vest, beautiful sculpted detail here. All the little wrinkles and the belts coming around. These two parts right here with the nicely painted little rivets, that's also up here. Those also come around to the back. There's a knife sheath and then a holster, which we'll get into when we get to the accessories. It looks like there's some pegs right here where I could peel it apart, but This is not the softest material in the world. In fact, it's almost like a hard candy shell. Feels like there is no give to it whatsoever, so I don't want to go popping that apart and then not be able to put it back. Unfortunately, that gets in the way of torso articulation, if there is any. I'm not sure if there's any behind here. It feels like there is a ball joint at the waist, but it gets very little movement. The belt below here is a separate piece too, but nicely sculpted, and then we get to the skull. Looks like he stepped right out of the TV show. It's the actual design of the show that not a lot else is going on here, but you're drawn right to that, you know, like you're supposed to be. Up at the head, there is a softness to the paints, but how can I put this? I feel like that kind of helps it in a way. The likeness is there. I mean, there's no denying that. The paintwork here for his stubble coming all the way up around to the shaved part of his head, I love it. It just looks great. The softness comes in with the eyebrows and the eyes, I think. It's well done. There's something just barely off to the eyes. But just like the TV show, he's never without a little blood somewhere. Going over articulation, there is a dumbbell joint. There's a ball going down into the torso and then a ball going up into the head. But it does go all the way through the neck, so you push it down and then it pops. From neutral, he goes up about that far, down about that far. Some tilt, which, that's my favorite. What? And then, of course, it swivels. The shoulders, it doesn't feel like there's a forward and back or a ball joint of any kind, but it does hinge up to here. Like I talked about, it swivels all the way around. Hinge and swivel at the elbow, comes up to 90, then that swivels. Swivel, hinge, swivel at the wrist, you can go up and down. But if you come around, manipulate it, you can get it to go side to side. Like I also talked about, I'm not sure if there's anything in the torso itself. It feels like there's something. Wait, I got something. Maybe just a little. Ball joint at the waist gets you a little bit, gets you back, tilt, gets tilt. You see it moving, right? Then it swivels. The hips come up 90, back, out to about right there. Feels like there's a swivel at the thigh. Probably a double knee. He can't quite kick his own ass. Ball joint at the ankle, you can go side to side with it, you can go back, you can go forward, and then that also rocks. So basically, the short of it is pretty stiff from the waist up, except maybe the neck. Ooh, look at that. But pretty limber from the waist down. For accessories, Punisher comes with 2 fists. He comes with 2 open hands, with the right hand a little bit more open than the left. He comes with 2 grip hands, and then most importantly, for Punisher, he comes with 2 trigger finger hands. And for that, the hands are kind of a soft material, pop right off. And the other hand goes right on. Comes with a 1911, nice silver work there and to the trigger. And then of course the grip has a little color to it. And you pop the 8-round magazine out of it like this. Just look at the nice little detail at the end of it. And he actually comes with 2 of those for reloading or in case you drop one of those in the carpet. He grips it perfectly in the trigger finger hand, or you can pop this strap right here and it fits perfectly in the holster there. Comes with a Magnum revolver, black and brown, and then even it has a little feature of spinning right there. Comes with a K-bar knife, beautiful little detail there. He can hold that in the closed grip hand, or it goes in the sheath in the back. You've got to kind of watch these 2 pieces right here. They like to get caught, but once you get there, you can kind of close it up and it looks like it's snapped shut. And then he comes with a GE M134 minigun. It's mostly in the black plastic, but it does have a silver dry brush over it, kind of bring out the detail. And the barrels on it even spin. It goes into the trigger finger hand, and then the hand's soft enough to where you can open it up around the grip and just shut it around it. And that works pretty good. It also has a belt that you can plug right into the side of it. To spruce it up a little bit, each gun comes with a hole in the barrel, and then the figure comes with this blast effect, and you can even see the bullet right there at the end. Just a nifty little thing they added. And then there's the triple shot. Kind of like he's swinging the gun to the side. We looked at the head that came on the figure a minute ago with its scratch there and a scratch there, but that does pop off. The other one goes on and you get a more beat up Punisher head. We saw him better than this in the show. We saw him a lot worse than this in the show, but it's cool little effects. Right here in the camera, it probably looks very sharp, just like red splotches, but in person, it looks a little bit more natural. Size-wise, Punisher stands at about 6 7/16. Here he is with the 1/12 Collective Netflix Vigilante Daredevil and then full-on costume Daredevil. Honestly, I opened both of these just to do this comparison, and I wasn't expecting as much out of this one, but I kind of like it. I mean, it's a little baggy, but it still looks cool. But I really, really like the look of this one. And then all 3 of them together, it just works. And then here's the Marvel Legends Netflix Punisher and Netflix Daredevil. The Marvel Legends Punisher is a little bit tall. I think Barenthal is 5'11", Charlie Cox is 5'10". So this is actually closer in size than these two. And this makes me realize I forgot about Punisher's trench coat. Getting it on, not a big deal at all. It just slips right on. But trying to get it to look natural is a little tougher than I expected. You can get the collar down and such, but this part, it feels unfinished. If you let too much come out, this is just, boop, sticks out. That's doing it right there. The extra material on the inside is coming all the way, and it likes to stick out. Perfect world, I'd get the collar down like this, and then these two would go here, but it just wants to pop out. Even with the wire on the front right there. It stays in flowing positions or out. As long as I hold it down, I don't mind the look so much, but it looks just a little puffy whenever I don't hold it down. I think I prefer it to be just, you know, ready for battle. It's also better to pull the hands off too, to get the jacket on and off. Without the trench coat, he looks ready to get in some mud, some blood. It's crazy how close the two Daredevils are in size, but something else I just realized. The Marvel Legends Daredevil body is a little bit blocky, but it's the head that looks a little bit thick or weird. It pops right off. And if you have this Daredevil with the extra head with the gritting teeth, guess what? Because of the softness of the Mezco heads, that fits right on the Marvel Legends Daredevil body. May not be perfect, may not be specific for that uniform, but it looks good. Hell, Marvel Legends head, that much tilt. Mezco head on the Marvel Legends body, little bit tight, but look at all the tilt. Yeah, that's staying in my Marvel Legends display. And then for giggles, here's the Marvel Legends Netflix Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Elektra, and then there's Daredevil. So at the end of the day, yeah, I say it again. I need to open more Mezco. I'm always taken by surprise at how good these things are. Sure, the clothing may be a little bit restrictive, and some people do not care for cloth at all. I didn't at one point, but then I started getting into the Mezcos, and they won me over, especially with the more real-world clothes. That's not to say the Daredevils or the Batmans aren't awesome. It's just, I don't know. I think my general interest skews into the more human characters in this line. The Jokers, the Popeyes, I know, not a real life person, but the clothing is real world. And now the Punisher. He's got some limitations, yes, with the base body, and I will agree that Mezco probably needs to retire that single jointed elbow body. But for what I want this figure to do, it's doing it. It's gonna stand on the shelf, it's gonna be blowing brains out, it's gonna be shooting, it's gonna be looking badass. That's what I wanted it to do, and that's what it shall. You're gonna have to put another toy line into rotation. This is bonkers. This is crazy. So if you enjoyed this review or Robo's self-reflection of toys unopened, comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you on the Fwoosh.